Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Govind Saraswat and I welcome you in this third lecture on Thomas Gray's Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard. So far we have talked about how Thomas Gray has talked about the evening time in a country churchyard and the things that are happening around him, and then from the atmosphere he then draws our attention towards the graves in the churchyard, and he is thinking of those people who might be engraved there. Some of them are very poor, that is why the graves are not in a very good condition. And then he is talking about uh, the the imagined life conditions of these poor farmers, and he presents a contrast between life and death also. In the seventh stanza, he is in a way talking about the workaholic nature of these farmers. As he says, often did the harvest their sickle yield, their furrow often the stubborn glebe has broke. How jocund did they drive their team afield, how bowed the words beneath their sturdy stroke. So these all activities are related to farming, and these people did or performed these works in a very skillful manner. And he says that often did the harvest to the sickle yield. Sickle matlab hasiya, harvest matlab fasal. So they used to reap the harvest every year. It was a difficult task, but they performed it very well, and they broke the hard or stubborn soil so as to sow something. Then, how jocund did they drive their team afield? एक फार्मर की टीम क्या हो सकती है? उसके दो बैल, हल उसका और वो खुद. So he is picturizing them uh, going towards the field in a very pleasing manner. They used to be very happy when they are going towards their field. Then they used to cut uh, trees also so that they can use them to so that they can use them in their hearth so as to cook food. तो थॉमस ग्रे इस स्टेंजा और इस क्वार्टरन के जरिए ये बताना चाहता है कि ये जो पुअर फार्मर्स थे, भले ही इनकी ग्रेव्स कैसी ही अभी हो, लेकिन उन्होंने अपनी ड्यूटीज़ जो है वो अच्छे तरह से पूरी की थी. एज ए फार्मर क्या एंटिसिपेट कर सकते हैं हम, क्या क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं? उन्होंने अ, फसल जो भी उगाई थी उसको वो काटते थे. एक एक रूटीन लाइफ का और रूटीन फार्मिंग का एक पार्ट है. डिफ़िकल्ट है, लेकिन फिर भी उन्होंने हमेशा जब भी वो हर साल फसल पकती थी उसे बड़े खुशी के साथ में काटते थे. हार्ड सॉइल जो पीछे बचती थी उसको वो अपने हल से वापस उसकी फर्रोज़ बनाते थे ताकि वो उसमें फिर से कुछ नया बो सके. और कई हमने देखे हैं ना, कई लोग जो काम करते हैं ना अपने खुद की जो ड्यूटीज़ होती है तो भी वो बेमन होते हैं. लेकिन यहाँ पे देखिए, कॉन्ट्रास्ट देखिए, दे आर गोइंग टूवर्ड्स द फील्ड इन ए वेरी प्लीजिंग मूड. बहुत ही खुशी खुशी वो जा रहे हैं अपने खेत की तरफ, बैल और अपने हल को लेके. और उस ज़माने में गैस वगैरह तो होती नहीं थी, तो फिर क्या करते थे, वो लकड़ियाँ काट के लेके आते थे. अपनी हाउसवाइफ जो भी घर में होती थी उनको वो देते थे और वो फिर उसी उसी से वो खाना पकता था. सो इट इज़ जो स्टेंजा जो ये है थॉमस ग्रे ने लिखा है, सेवन्थ वन, ये शो करता है कि आदमी वो खुद अपन कितने आत्मनिर्भर थे. वो उनको पता था कि कौन कौन से काम उनको करने हैं, और उनको करने में वो कभी भी पीछे नहीं हटते थे। और होता है कई बार, सम पीपल फील दैट if this is a monotonous uh, way of living, and some people they make it bored also, but they are always happy because they know that it is their duty, and they are worried not only about themselves but about their family also. And the next stanza, it is a very beautiful one in itself, and I like the way Thomas Gray has given a clue to all those people who are ambitious, who are boast, who are always boasting of their riches. It is a lesson and a suggestion from Thomas Gray. He says that let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely joys and destiny obscure, nor grandeur hear with a disdainful smile the short and simple annals of the poor. Generally, there is a big, generally we see that there is a big gap between the rich and the poor, and the rich people do not treat these poor people uh, in a compassionate manner. So there are some people who are ambitious. The word ambition is uh, it stands for those who are ambitious in their life. Okay, so you can say that it is a kind of personification also. So let not ambition mock their useful toil. These people put their hard efforts. They do a lot of things, but some people who are ambitious, they 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 make fun of their toil, which is very useful for all. They they feel that what they do and how they entertain themselves, the homely joys means there are some little things, and since they are not that much rich, they have their own way of entertaining themselves, and they get and then they derive happiness even in little things. But people who are ambitious, they mock and they feel, suppose they for example, like in aside the example of a last line where he says this one, no children learn to list their sire's return, it is a homely joy. तुतला के बोलते हुए जो बच्चे भागते हुए जा रहे हैं, जब उनका फादर डे के वर्क के बाद में लौट के आता है, तो एक बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल सीन बनता है। उस फादर के मन की फीलिंग्स को आप देखिए, जो दिन भर के काम करने के बाद में जो थका हुआ आता है, सारी थकान उतर जाती है जब उसके बच्चे खुशी के मारे उसकी तरफ दौड़ते हुए जाते हैं, तुतलाते हुए। और ये वो सोचते हैं कि पहला किस किस को मिलेगा। इट इज़ ए होमली जॉय। बट जो लोग हर चीज़ को पैसे से तोलते हैं, उनको पता नहीं इसकी वैल्यू क्या है। दैट इज़ वाई दे mock their homely joys and destiny obscure. They feel that you were born a farmer and you died as a farmer. So their destiny was obscure. उनका जो भाग्य था वो बहुत ही obscure था, किसी को पता ही नहीं। They died unknown. No grandeur. Grandeur means great people. They do not want to listen the simple and short story of these poor people. They they hate and they mock they mock at their simple life story, and the smile is full of disdain, hatred, और इस तरह का उनको नहीं करना चाहिए। सो दिस इज़ जस्ट ए lesson of life that you may be ambitious, you may be great, but even then you should not degrade the value of other human beings, what though they are poor. At least they are human beings, and if they are doing their duties, if they are performing their roles perfectly, then they are they are something, and you must not uh, degrade or devalue their life. Then this is the next four lines. The use of rhetoric can be seen very clearly here. Thomas Gray asks, the boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, all that beauty, all that wealth ever gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead but to the grave. So, in a way, he is suggesting the real essence of our life and the truth of life. There is only one thing that is certain in our life, and that is death. So he is suggesting to suggesting this truth to all those people who who feel that they are born high in an aristocratic family, if they feel proud that they are powerful, they are man, they have much beauty, and they are very wealthy, then what is the use of all these things? If you have a name of an old family, if you have power, if you have beauty, if you have wealth, can any one of these things save you from that inevitable hour that is awaiting everybody that is on this earth? हर कोई जो जन्म लेता है इस धरती पे, उसे एक न एक दिन जाना ही है. देन वाई डू यू बोस्ट? तो किस चीज़ का घमंड है? और लास्ट लाइन क्या कहती है? द पाथ्स ऑफ ग्लोरी लीड बट टू द ग्रेव. Death lies in wait equally for all, those who boast of their proud descent, those who are proud of their power, those who possess beauty or wealth. The inescapable or the inevitable hour of death awaits all men. I am here reminded of Horace phrase in one of his odes where he says that one night awaits us all. So that is the only certainty of our life. भले ही कितनी ग्लोरियस पाथ पे आप क्यों न चल रहे हो, लेकिन आखिर में वो किस तरफ लीड करते हैं? ग्रेव की तरफ ही लीड करते हैं. दैट इज द अल्टीमेट ट्रूथ ऑफ आवर लाइफ. सो इफ यू आर on this earth, if you are powerful, if you are beautiful, if you have a an old name of an old name of an aristocratic family, and you are very wealthy, but you must be humble. If you are arrogant because of all these things, then the truth that you are ignoring at present will one day make you humble and regretful. You will regret that you wasted your power, your beauty, your knowledge, and everything because as per you did not act as per the morality, and you ignored that truth and acted like uh, an ignorant person. At the end, everyone needs peace of mind, and when you will reach towards your end, you will feel that you did something wrong to those people. So in a way, Thomas Gray here is trying to prove that we should not be arrogant in our life. We must accept other human beings as they are, and we must not mock down them, we must not laugh at them, we must give due respect, and we must be humble in our life because the fate of everyone is same at the end. Okay, so this is for today, and I hope that you will try to muse over these stanzas and try and will try to um, dive deep into the meaning of Thomas Gray and will learn some lessons of life. Thank you.